the first time I've heard your voice in a while, in like a couple of minutes. I know.
How does it feel? Is it like a warm embrace?
It feels like I'm sitting right in front of a fireplace, snow falling from the sky, dark outside. I have a cup of hot coffee, maybe hot cocoa. It's wonderful. It's great. It's a joyous feeling. Yeah.
It's a joyous feeling. It's a joyous time of year. We're so glad to be back. I have been incredibly sick the past couple weeks. I don't know if it was like a flu or just a really nasty cold or what, but that's why I haven't been getting the ill-conceived that you know and love, dear listener, is that I have just not been able to do, anything, really.
I know, and like even I can tell you're still not at like peak capacity still. No. It's like you're still, that was a brutal fucking sickness. Fucking horrible. I'm just glad that you like can stand and like walk and do things again other than watch 24 like you told me that you've been doing.
Which is probably not wise. I mean, like watching 24 is not, it's not good for my mental health, certainly.
It might be making it worse. Like it might like keep you like just like depreciating. It could be genuinely.
Have you ever actually watched 24?
No, never. All I know about 24 is just that my parents used to watch it, and that sound, the beeping. I would hear that every once in a while when I was like very young, but that's literally all I know about the show.
It's so bad, and it is a show that I thought was really cool when I was like a teenager, right? Yeah. And so now you go back and you watch it, and it's like, this is just, there are still parts that are genuinely entertaining, but it is shockingly boring. And I guess it makes sense given that the format is, it's a show that takes place in real time, right? 24 real time hours.
Right.
But it's hard to fill a day's worth of action. And so there's just a lot of like, they repeat the same beats over and over and over again. They have the same fights multiple times. There's a lot of really like bullshit office politics usually where it's like, well, district said we couldn't do this. Yeah, but we have to do it. But we can't. District said we can't do it.
They're really doing their best to draw this out as long as they can.
But what if we do it? No, we can't. District said we can't do it. Yeah, but we have to. Like it's just that over and over and over again.
I would have to check on exactly this era specifically, but if I had to guess, I feel like this show, and I don't know if Heroes, do you remember that show Heroes?
Of course I remember Heroes, yeah.
I feel like there was like a specific era post or like concurrently with Lost, like the Lost era of TV that like a lot of shows just felt like this. And I feel like it's sort of a type of like, I don't know if you'd call it a procedural, but like a type, like a TV thriller or drama that is not really around anymore.
House also feels that way.
Oh, I love
weirdly.
House though. I
mean, I do too. Yeah. It's bad, but I love it.
I don't know if it's bad. I've been watching it recently. It's not bad.
It's bad.
No, why is it bad?
Yes, it is.
Okay, tell me why. Why is it bad? I think it's genuinely so good. I love it. I love House so much.
It's entertaining. Again, this is an important distinction to make. Like, House is very entertaining television that is also very bad. Okay. Like, the writing is ridiculous.
Okay, that I can
and don't tell me you don't know what I'm talking about.
I do. No, I absolutely do. I love, and I love it, but it's always like every episode is like, oh, this is definitely what this person has. Oh my God, it's not that. It might be this. It's also not this, but it could be this. And it's this.
What if it was? Oh, it's that.
And it's wonderful. It's so
more
good.
than just the format. It's also all of the absolutely ridiculous like interpersonal drama between the doctors.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of moments where I'm like, oh, this was a show that aired in like 2007. Actually,
Cuddy.
Yeah,
I'm going to eat your pussy.
It's like holy shit.
That's Gregory House talking about eating his coworker's pussy.
Yeah, the way that he talks about I'm blanking on her name, but specifically that like intern nurse or doctor that he has. Yeah. The way he's like he's just like, I only have you here for eye candy. It's like, Jesus Christ,
it's so
man.
weird.
Yeah.
Well, have you gotten there's a lot of stuff in there actually about how hot teenagers are. You've seen some of those episodes, right?
I don't think I have. I'm not super far along. I'm still in the first season. I've not watched it before. I've just started watching it fairly recently.
House is low-key aligned with the Natalist Project, I think. I think the writers of House are very, like, these breedable young women. No. And there's, like, episodes of House where he says as much.
Jesus Christ, he would be thriving in this ecosystem in the world today.
Oh, he would have a podcast.
He's like that world's Dr. Peterson, Jordan Peterson.
Yes.
Yeah. God.
The Dragon of Chaos.
That's like advice you would give, actually, though. Like, genuinely.
I know.
Yeah.
Is House why we're in the moment that we're in? Is House in 24? Like, are those the two?
I think there's a theory there. If someone has the time and wants to dig in, I feel like you could put together.
It might be me.
You could put together a compelling piece. Yeah.
Who puts together the grand unified theory of 24 and House?
Look, I can see it happening. It's going to happen.
I'm so tired, June. I'm so tired.
New project.
No, I don't have the energy for another project.
Yeah, no, I guess on that, should we also announce a little new schedule update for the next year? Yeah.
Yeah, so that I get less tired in the new year.
Yeah.
We have been talking a fair bit about, like, and I'm sure you've noticed, we haven't been able to be as consistent and regular with our schedule as we would like to be. There will be times where we're able to put out a whole bunch of episodes every week, and then there will be times where we'll just miss a week or two. And obviously things happen. Sometimes I get sick for 2 weeks and then, nothing can happen. But I think that it's fair to say that we both want to do a release schedule that allows us to keep doing the show at the level of quality we've been doing it, while making sure that we both don't get burned out. Because before I got sick, I was feeling a fair bit of burnout. And I think the same is true of you as well, June,
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. And it's not particularly just because of this show. It's just everything compounding up upon each other, like everything, just life, work, podcasts, just all.
That's right. We both have another show.
Yeah.
We both have, you have a whole other job on top of it.
Yeah.
So what we are going to be doing in the new year is we are going to be moving to an every other week release schedule. The episodes themselves, the format, all of that, it's going to stay exactly the same. And this is part of the thing, too, is that the episodes keep getting longer. I don't know if you've been noticing this. Originally, the concept was that this was going to be a show where we did like a half hour every week.
We were so goofy for thinking that. I think about that every time. We were
straight up goofy.
Every single time we inch closer and closer to 2-hour episodes every single one we put out. I'm like, it's gonna be 4 times the length we originally intended very soon.
So if you think about it that way, right, that is for us in terms of our recording, for our prep, our recording, our editing. All of that is just way more. And so we're very happy with the format that we're doing now, but it's just not really sustainable it's just the two of us. And so it's just not really sustainable for us to be doing this format at this length every week. And personally, I would rather do the same show with less frequency than do a lesser show with more frequency.
I totally agree, especially because I think I speak for you also that we wouldn't want to go back to the original intention of just doing a half-hour show, because it would be a totally different show. It wouldn't be what it is right now, and we love the show that it is right now. So we want to keep doing it at this level.
So basically what it's going to be is every other week, regular episodes, same as usual. And then in the off weeks, that's when we're going to be doing our mailbag episodes for the Patreon. So that does also mean less, because with Patreon up until now, we've been doing it every week. It's going to be every other week on the Patreon, every other week on the main feed. I do think, though, that because we are now going to be doing the Patreon every other week rather than every week, it does mean that I might even be able to edit those a little bit now.
Ooh.
I know. I'm not making any huge promises on that, but it does allow for more flexibility around Patreon and in the Patreon content than has been the case in the past, where it really did have to be like, okay, it's going to be an hour, it's not edited, we're just running it straight through. So it is possible that what we put on the Patreon is going to change a bit. We'll still, of course, be doing our follow-up mailbag episodes, but there is the possibility that there might be more there as well at some point in the future.
Again,
I think we
have plans for it though. We've been talking here and there about potential ideas that we can also, I think we mentioned it in one of the different mailbag episodes where we might do like a movie watch, like Tucker Carlson's Men documentary he did like 3 years ago. I can't remember the exact name off the top of my head, but just stuff like that. Yeah.
And I would love for Tucker Carlson to teach me how to be a man. I think that, like, when I think about, like, masculine men, Tucker Carlson is my number one with a bullet.
Yeah. So you'll see some extra stuff over there, maybe eventually going into the new year.
And also our next main episode, that is also going to release in the new year. We're going to stick with Fridays to the best of our abilities. So that's going to be on Friday, January 2nd. That you're going to be seeing that episode. And then again, from then on, every other week. And what's nice too is that now we'll be able to do the bonus mailbag episodes in a way that makes a bit more sense, because it'll be a full week between the release, well, even more than a week actually, between the release of the episode and then when we record the mailbag, meaning it'll be, for instance, our next episode is going to be about porno and laws about pornography and stuff like that. And so then the subsequent week's mailbag is going to be then your feedback to that episode, which I think is going to be, it's just going to make a bit more sense than how we've been doing it.
It'll look nicer, make more sense in the grand scheme of things, yeah.
Which also means we still owe you 2 mailbag episodes on the Patreon, one for the concept of childhood and one for eugenics. We will be recording those, and they will be out on the Patreon. I don't know when exactly, but
we'll figure it out.
That's also going to be in the can very soon. Very soon. Did that all make sense? Again, my head is like still a little fuzzy from being sick.
I think so. Just to quickly recap, Josh didn't die. Thank fucking God. Slight shift in production scheduling. So first, like, return episode back to the main, like, the main ill-conceived format will be January 2nd, and that will be after that. It'll be in every other main feed release schedule, and then in the other weeks between those every other week, it will be the mailbag follow-up to those. Right. So in January, there will be, I think, 5 total episodes that we record, like with the new schedule that we release and record.
Yeah.
In January. Yeah.
3 of which will be main feed regular episodes, and the other 2 of which will be mailbag. And there's a possibility that we might find time to do an extra bonus for the Patreon in there as well. So,
absolutely, yeah.
With that announcement out of the way, and now that we're back together, you, June, dug something up that I think might be worth taking a look at. Something called sperm racing?
Yeah, I saw this and I immediately was like, I need to become really obsessed with this new thing called sperm racing.
Sperm racing contest.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, somehow.
So all sorts of influencers, clearly paid. Yeah. All paid.
Sam Altman was there?
Apparently.
Ain't no way we sperm racing, but Afar, how does this work?
It all begins here with the design process.
Come on.
Some young 20-year-olds doing some bullshit here.
There's like a 3D over. He's like doing the Minority Report thing of like resizing imaginary screens with his hands.
Is carved using precise microfabrication. Every surface, every contour is engineered to control fluid movement at a microscopic scale. Then comes the science, the heart of it all.
Did you see that? It said scientific processes TM. They trademarked scientific processes.
All they're doing is carving a groove using a CNC mill into a slab of aluminum. This isn't...
Prepare the most viable cells for racing. Under the microscope, we pipette the cells into a custom racetrack.
Very scientific.
Inside, the controlled microcurrent flows through the channel, creating resistance, pushing each racer to its limits.
Oh my God. CV to 3D process.
For context, for people not watching, they're talking about sperm, individual sperm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cell, every frame, every overtake.
And we're watching sperm go through like a little microscopic track. I think it's a tube. Oh, look in the top left, Polymarket.
Oh my God,
Solana.
Of course.
Yep, all connected. That visualization is insane.
Wait, why does sperm racing even exist? There's a little comment there.
In short, we are turning health into competition.
What? Come on, man.
Well, male fertility has quietly decreased
Oh,
over
shit.
60% in the last 50 years. That's absurd. At a first glance, sperm racing seems like a meme.
Uh-huh.
But if you think about it, we're taking a topic that no one wants to touch and making it interesting and measurable.
This is
It's kind of bonkers.
So let me walk you over the concept and how everything works. Here we have a microscopic racetrack. Think F1, but at the atomic
All right, I'm thinking
level.
about it.
F1 defined the limits of
I love all of this fake
I know.
CG rendered bullshit.
It's so obviously not going to look like this.
Meets evolution.
Welcome to the world's smallest sport.
Okay, so now
They turn into
we're
sperm
looking at 3D race cars that have
Transformed
I
into
don't know.
sperms.
And a collision on the third turn. What a disaster on the opening stretch. Beautiful overhead footage provided by CNN. Once you see those flaps, you know FRS has been activated. You can see the burst of speed as he overtakes. They are quite literally racing for their lives. 3 lead changes in the final stretch, an unbelievable upset, and an unforgettable race.
Okay, this is my favorite part coming up.
Okay. So we're zooming out of the track.
We're turning this into a spectacle. Think press conferences, weigh-ins,
You
thrilling
can't
commentary.
weigh in a sperm.
Imagine backing your favorite athlete,
Donald Trump!
influencer,
Did you see Donald
celebrity
Trump there?
in the weirdest, most entertaining event you've ever seen.
So like they would be getting Donald Trump's sperm. And
Theoretically,
having it
that's what they're implying. Yeah, your favorite influencers, politicians, Donald Trump, could possibly, you know. Oh, I don't know. So I saw that. This is the first thing I saw of sperm racing, and it hooked me. I was just like, this is maybe one of the most insane things that I've seen
This is
all
pretty
year.
cracked, yeah.
So I saw that, and I was like, okay, this doesn't just like happen without some sort of weird influence. This doesn't just
You need
come
a
out
lot of
nowhere.
money to make something like this happen, or at least some money.
Right. And in that original post with that video that we just listened to and watched, they did say that they raised $10 million. And you might be thinking, where did they raise fucking $10 million?
I have been thinking that, yeah.
And, Sam Altman was in that video. Polymarket was clearly a sponsor. And Solana, I believe, is a crypto wallet.
But
Like
it's a currency. Solana,
Yeah.
it's like Ethereum. It's a chain, yeah.
So there's like clearly some like financial tech right wing type nonsense involved in this. So basically, whenever like every couple of days, I just search sperm racing to see if there's any new articles that pop up.
Oh, so you've been down the rabbit hole for sperm racing for a little bit now.
For a while, and I found this was like an old article that I actually pulled. So that video was posted in November. This article that I pulled was actually from May this year. So this has been around for a minute and has had like a big investor that, at least as of this article, I don't know if they've specifically announced it yet. I haven't been able to find it, but as of May of this year, they still have had like a mysterious benefactor, like billionaire involved. So they have not like said who that is. They apparently want to remain anonymous. But I feel like, come on, it's probably like Sam Altman or like Peter Thiel or like.
It feels like fucking Brian Johnson. I could see it being him.
Oh my God, yeah.
With
easily.
He's got such a weird obsession with sperm to begin with.
Yeah, I mean that's like his whole thing, and he's already connected to so many of those same people. I mean, he is associates with like Peter Thiel, all of them. But this article, so this person, the person that wrote this article titled "I watched sperm race with hundreds of teens. It was a total shit show."
It was from by Jason Rogers in Men's Health.
Wonderful article. I highly recommend reading the whole thing. It's quite long, but we're not going to read the whole thing. Just a couple of segments from it, just to sort of get an idea of what this whole thing is. So the person who is like basically running this, the guy that you heard in that video, Eric Zhu, is I guess the CEO or the founder, one of the founders.
He's 17 years old.
What? No, I thought he was like at least 19. Like I know the teens in the video looked young, but I could have sworn they were like probably college students.
No, he's 17.
Jesus Christ, man. But yeah, so this article. says, according to Zhu, the idea for sperm racing started as a joke. An unnamed billionaire, described by the event's also teenage media handler as someone who moves in the same circles as right-wing tech demigod Peter Thiel, flew Zhu to New York and asked for his craziest idea. He pitched competitive sperm racing, assuming it would flop. Instead, the billionaire loved it. He didn't love it enough to fund it, but the reaction got the ball rolling. Zhu soon raised $1.5 million, mostly from friends at early-stage venture funds, to turn health into a sport. Yeah, so it's basically through this connection, got like connected to all sorts of different funders from this original billionaire, sort of taking him under their wing.
So, first question that I have.
Yeah.
How does this turn health into a sport?
I don't really know.
To me, that doesn't feel connected.
No. I think what they wanted this to be is like, I think from everything I can tell, they're like, okay, people will like stop, doing things that are unhealthy, maybe stop smoking. It'll encourage people to stop drinking, maybe work out. Like, I think the idea is that this will be like some sort of like fitness event that like, because I don't know. I don't really know what makes a healthy sperm individually, I guess. Like, I don't know. This is a weird esoteric thing.
It doesn't strike me as,
the biggest health crisis specifically?
No, but it also, I thought it was so interesting, the moment in there when he was like, and sperm counts are down by 60%. It's like, this is all connecting to sort of the broader paranoia that we frequently talk about on this show, this fear of declining masculinity and male virility, right?
Yeah, and that's sort of, that's what I keep thinking about throughout this entire, like whenever I search into this a little bit more, is because like what does, and this isn't the first time we've ever seen in the show or the media paranoia about dropping fertility rates, like specifically semen count. And it's like, what does that even necessarily mean? Does that mean like, will there be a day where it'll hit zero? I don't necessarily think so. Like where like there will be someone who is born that just has no like sperm count. I don't think that's going to be a thing that happens. Is it? Maybe it is more about the inferred masculinity from it. Like maybe that is what it is, rather than just specifically actual sperm count.
Well, I'll read the next little chunk of the article here. We spent all the money on this event, which might be stupid, Zhu said casually, when asked how the $1.5 million had been allocated. Spent it all on the one event. That's funny. But our goal is to go bigger and bigger, right? As I thought about the fact that a group of teenagers had, in a matter of weeks, blown through enough money to buy a house to build the Daytona 500 of semen, I simply wrote, gonna be a shit show in my notes, and a shit show it was. When they finally opened the doors, the crowd, mostly teenagers, and more like 400 people, not 4,000, wandered in, looking a little lost. Some wore streetwear, others repped USC or UCLA jerseys, a few slipped on $40 swim team sperm racing tees being hawked outside. Lest you think this is only an event for dudes, I talked to Annie, a young goth from Santa Monica with a septum piercing and chrome grills. When I asked how she'd heard about the event, she shrugged. I saw a meme. Later, I met Stephanie Saborin, an actual nurse who specializes in male reproductive health. She was there representing the at-home sperm testing startup Legacy, a loose sponsor of the event, and had skipped the opening day of the nation's biggest urology conference in Vegas, weirdly happening the same weekend, to be here.
Just absurd.
Man.
So they had $1.5 million for this event. Since then, like a month ago, they raised another $10 million. So despite this sort of like odd event, they actually keep getting more and more money and more partnerships to do more of these.
My big question is, if I'm an investor, how am I getting my money back?
Yeah.
I guess I'm assuming that the longer term vision is that like this becomes an event, like a circuit, basically, where there's like a series of events that happen over the course of a given year. And like, but I don't see the path to profitability here. I don't see that, and I still truly don't really understand, because they say it all the time, turn health into a sport, right?
But like, how is that necessary? Like they're weighing in like the semen and then
I mean, it would
off?
Be way better if they had to like, if it was two guys and then they both had to like JO, and then they would have to manually deposit their sample onto the beginning of the starting track. That would be cool.
that would be interesting. There would be a lot more going on there.
There would be a lot going on there.
But so I didn't include
you
it.
You might run up against obscenity laws, but like to me, that's funny.
Yeah.
Like the idea of just, here are some sperm that are swimming through, these micro channels that have been milled into a piece of aluminum. I don't find that interesting because to me, that's not about the human element. I'm interested in competitive J&O, which to me is what this promises but doesn't deliver on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's sort of like the weird thing. I didn't include it in these like little portions we're reading out, but also in the article they say that this isn't even done live. Like these races are recorded before, and like they're digitally, like it's like a video. It's like a recording of this shown like in post.
That's stupid because like esports, say what you will about esports, they're at least happening live. You're not watching a recording, right?
This is like watching a recording, not a live
that's
event.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's like it's all a performance. Like all the commentary is given, and like maybe the people that are doing the commentary haven't seen it yet. Like no one has seen it up until that point, but it was pre-recorded technically.
Well, to me, that defeats the entire purpose of what the thing even is.
Yeah. It seems less interesting. Apparently, it's still entertaining, though. The person who wrote this piece, who is very critical of the event and the odd funding around it, did say he kind of had fun being here just because of how odd it was. Because how could you? This is something I would enjoy as just like a why the fuck am I here sort of thing. This is just so odd.
If the idea is you're here to watch the sperm race, then you're here to watch the sperm race, but you're not here to watch the sperm race. You're here to watch a recording of the sperm having already raced.
Yeah. And I don't know. That's sort of like the main reason why this is so interesting to me is, well, first of all, this exists. So that's just fucking weird. But also that there are so many like right wing adjacent and finance tech people involved in this, and to me that just implicitly means that there is some sort of underlying ideology or some sort of ideological goal here. I think
it would seem so. I mean, unless they just purely think that it's a good channel for getting their money back and they think the investment will be worth it. But
I just don't see how that would be.
No. There's I'll read another excerpt here from the article. Surprisingly, sperm racing did make a small effort to honor its mission of getting people to think more critically about sperm health. During the weigh-in, a segment modeled after the macho theatrics of a boxing press conference, Saborin stood on stage asking competitors health questions, how much they exercise, whether they smoke or drink. And to their credit, the men answered with a degree of sincerity, mentioning better sleep, cleaner diets, cutting back on weed and booze.
Yeah.
That earnestness, however, didn't stand a chance against the event's dominant vibe, full-blown internet id. Zhang, one of the first racers, had taken the stage flanked by a crew dressed like seamen, matching white outfits just like the guy in the VIP section from earlier and wearing a plastic paintball vest scrawled with Nut King in Sharpie. Boat, his competitor, had arrived in silky purple pajamas, backed by an entourage dressed in black, some dripping in diamond chains. When the two stood nose to nose, Shang pulled out a squirt gun and blasted Boat with a stream of mysterious white liquid, kicking off a pseudo-wrestling brawl that had me waiting for someone to yell World Star. After it was broken up, I turned to Annie, the goth girl with the chrome grills, for her take. She shrugged again. Probably staged.
I don't know. All of this is just one of the most insane things that this actually happened. Odd things are happening out in California. I don't really fucking get it. I guess, to give like minor credit is it's like, okay, maybe they are trying to encourage, slightly better habits, I suppose, which probably does increase. I mean, that does objectively increase health, like sleeping better, better diets.
Right.
Like that's just true. But like, is that really is that really what they're spending $1.5 million on this event for? Is to just like ask those questions vaguely and then do like a pre-recorded semen race? Like, I don't know. This seems to be, to me, with someone with a biology degree, I feel like there is a lot better, like actual policy to like maybe encourage better health habits, like on a like actual political, sociological level than something like this, where it's so clearly like, I can see the path that this is going to go on. It's like starts like this, where it's already first event, one of the most insane, brain poisoned events possible, then we're getting, clearly next time we're getting poly market involved. People are going to be betting. There's going to be some odd Kalshi, it's going to become like another thing to gamble on.
And I guess that's kind of ultimately, in terms of getting their money back, that's kind of the idea of where this wants to go.
Right, because that's everything. That's the world economy at this point. Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's like horse racing, basically. Like, that's ultimately the model that they're interested in, I think, is horse racing, where the primary means of financialization is around the market that you develop, the betting market that you develop. But this just leads me to another thought immediately, which is that if all of this is actually pre-recorded, then that creates some potential, like, fixing possibilities, other externalities. And for me personally, I don't think that I would have any real interest in betting on something like this, given that you're not actually betting on it. You are betting on
a thing that has already happened.
And you are making an assumption that this is going to be sufficiently, that Sperm Racing LLC or whatever is going to have sufficient integrity to not try to game those results or fix them or make out a lot of money by fixing matches. And for me personally, I don't buy it.
I don't either, especially seeing some of the people involved already and like the obvious sort of like reactionary leaning politics behind all of it. There's no reason to trust that this will be like a legitimate sport with like no fixing, like that's obviously going to be what happens here. There will be a big scandal of fixing, and it will make some news probably in like a year. That's one of my predictions for next year.
Yeah, that feels right.
A sperm racing event will have a huge fixing scandal, and it'll just be around because that's the economy.
I love that. Great economy, great country, great world we live in. I'm so glad to be living in the age of scams.
Yeah. Oh, we're living in a good time.
Do you ever feel like you died? And like, or are about to die, right? That like you're everything that you're experiencing is in this moment is your final DMT hallucination on the way to being dead.
I have felt many moments like that since like 2015-ish. Yeah. Basically, the Trump era has felt like a very prolonged final hallucination. Mm-hmm. Just, stories that I have never been able to conceive of happening every single day, every single week, multiple times in a day, just all happening. I do feel like that every day. I do subscribe to the world is currently like the world ended. And this is like the final, like blast from the brain. I do. I actively function through that framework.
It's hard to conceive of the world otherwise.
Yeah.
Like if all of this is real.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
It's like, I talk about this, I feel like on Kill the Computer with Caleb a lot, where it's like, you look back, you think back to when you were a bit younger, when technology was a little bit more in its infancy, like in the internet age, specifically the information era. And it's like, wow, there's so much potential. There's so much like amazing things that could happen with technology. Who knows what we're going to be able to do? Like, this is just the beginning. And where we're ending is financialization of sperm racing. That's where we're at. That's what we've gotten.
And that's the magic of the free market at the end of the day. That's just
it's a beautiful world we live in.
It's a beautiful world for you. Oh, Devo really nailed it with that one.
They're sort of eternal.
Well, you know what? We should probably read a little bit of our world famous mailbag as long as we're here.
Let's do it.
And again, we will have full Patreon mailbag episodes, both for our childhood and eugenics episodes. We got a lot of great mail from you about those, so stay tuned for that. But I just grabbed a couple here that I think will sort of round out this episode. So do you want to maybe take this first one and then I'll do the second one?
Absolutely.
Cool.
So this one's titled Yet Another Eugenics Connection. And this is from Josie. Hi, June and Josh. Amazing. It's been a minute. Oh, that feels good. That's nice.
It's like winning at sperm racing.
Oh God, I bet. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Hello from a pronoun person raised in the evangelical soup. When you teased the web of connections to be unveiled at the beginning of the eugenics episode, there was one significant name I was expecting to come up that wasn't included. In the 1930s, one of the American Eugenics Association's board of directors was a guy named Paul Popenoe. His most notable work was founding the American Institute of Family Relations, which promoted marriage counseling in the United States, inspired by the practice in Germany. And who was one of Popenoe's assistants in this organization? The only young James Dobson. Popenoe even wrote the foreword to Dobson's inaugural book, Dare to Discipline. Holy shit. That's from Josie. I added the holy shit. Sorry, that was not a part of the email.
And this was one that I knew about Paul Popenoe, and I forgot to make this connection.
It goes back. James Dobson goes all the way back to fucking eugenics in Nazi Germany, man. That's
which is not
crazy.
Really a surprise,
It's
right?
not.
I mean, the man, and we talked about this in our Dobson episode, he's got this obsession with the idea of like breeding and how the Christian family is sort of the way to guarantee a certain continuity. And there is a genetic component to that, you know? I think that I sort of soft pedaled a lot of the stuff about explicit eugenics in the first season when we were talking about the Christian stuff, because generally speaking, they don't lead with that.
Right.
But yeah, no, Paul Popenoe, notorious eugenicist and mentor of James Dobson.
That's fucking crazy. And I think, we probably got into it in the eugenics episode a little bit, but like even from the like traditional, like when I say traditional, I mean like the far right reactionary conception, the Germanic Nazi like that sort of perception of like genetics, the way that it's like they talk about like creating the family dynasty, and it's like, oh, you need to carry on. I mean, it's like there's a reason why some of these people don't. Like they're fearful of the idea of like having to adopt instead of have their own children sometimes because they're like, that's not my genetics being passed down. And it's like, why is that something that is like so feared by us? It's granted probably fairly small subgroup because there are Christians, there are people that adopt. But there's still like a not so insignificant portion of people, especially on the far right, primarily on the far right, that are so fearful of the idea that their genetics, that they might not have a child. You see this a lot in like incel, like far right incel groups, where it's like, oh, these women, they're not letting me have a child to pass down my genetics. It's like they talk about it purely in that sense, and it is sort of horrifying, and I just, it's such a weird perception of like what it is to have a family, where it's like completely not even utilitarian, but completely dynastical. And that's sort of like how Elon Musk thinks about it too.
And when you look at, I guess, going back to Dobson for a second, so much of his emphasis in terms of his own family is about, that his kids are people who he intends to carry on his project and his vision.
I guess, do his children, are his children involved with his project?
So Ryan Dobson, his son, is a weird guy. And
you don't say.
And for a while, he was very much like sort of discount version of his dad. I actually have a book on my shelf that Ryan wrote. It's called Be Intolerant Because Some Things Are Just Stupid.
Oh, okay.
And it's about how like, well, sure, you can be tolerant, but some things are just stupid. I literally just said the title of the book again, but that's what it is, right? The gist of it is like,
basically, it's like sometimes you have to say the R word. Basically,
well, it's not that. It's more like sometimes you have to stand up for traditional marriage.
Oh, okay. So less ableism, more homophobia.
Yes, indexing pretty heavily on the homophobia.
Yeah.
Because again, from their perspective, the idea is that these are things that fundamentally distort like natural order and natural laws that are set down from on high.
Right.
And so if you give any quarter to that sort of thing, it invariably degrades society more broadly.
It's very, very explicitly like the right-wing slippery slope argument that they've basically been talking about for the last however like 70 years about every single moral panic that comes up, like and they're like, if we give the homosexuals rights to marry soon, people will be marrying their dog. And it's like, well, no, that's not going to happen, actually.
But more recently, he's come out against a lot of the really hard line, you got to discipline your child physically stuff.
Oh.
He occupies a kind of a weird ideological lane. I don't know if it'd ever be worth doing an episode about him, because I'm not sure if he himself ascribes to natalist ideas or not, but
it'd be interesting to maybe dig into it a little bit and see. But no, that is interesting, especially because I feel like with current generations, like sort of beating or disciplining children has sort of fallen out of vogue. When James Dobson was maybe a parent, that was like sort of generally a standard around the time, a horrible standard, but it was way more normal than it is now, just inherently.
He co-hosts a podcast called Rebel Parenting.
I love how, I say this as someone with 2 podcasts, but I love how like every single one of these people, like every single person on like the right wing sphere specifically, no matter who they are, no matter what they do, they all have a podcast. Like it's incredible. Like every right wing, like millionaire, billionaire person who runs any sort of organization all wants to be an influencer, actually, more than anything else.
Yes. That's the ultimate goal. All right, and then I guess I'll go ahead and move on to this other letter that we've got here. This one is called Those Fucking Ads. And the sender of this is asked to keep their name anonymous for reasons that I think are going to become clear. Hi, June and Josh, or Josh and June, depending on who reads this first. Okay, it's so actually, hi, Josh and June. So do it over.
Yeah.
Hi, Josh and June. There we go. And now we're tied for the day.
Yay.
I think I may have seen those eugenics ads before most people, and I have a specific reason to think that. I wake up early. I get up at 3:30 and leave my place around 4 a.m. to go to my gym.
God damn, dude, that's early.
It's not an hour away, but the long walk is part of the exercise, and I talk to my partner on the phone while I walk. To my shock, I see some flyers posted on light poles stating 50% of eugenics is baby, or whatever those assholes wrote. I'm obviously pissed off. I changed my route around Soho to pull down every damn one of these flyers. While doing this, I realized there are these big-ass stickers on the sidewalk and road crossings for the same shit. Well, now those go in the trash. When I finished the job, I had a fucking wad of those stickers in my hand the size of a beach ball. I'm not sure, but I think I may have single-handedly turned their ad campaign in Soho into a subway station exclusively. The whole time forcing my poor partner to listen to me ranting about how fucking gross this is and how much I fucking hate these ads. Sorry, love. The thing I find darkly funny about these ads is they are inherently flattering. Obviously, you have the genetics to birth a 6'9", 500 IQ dunking brains genius. We just make sure that's what comes out. Love the show and your respective other podcasts.
Thank you so much. Yeah, these are these ads. I haven't seen them in person yet, but I imagine I would have this similar reaction.
And what I'll say too is, in a lot of cases, when you're talking about like wild postings and stuff like that, which it sounds like this was, it's not technically legal for them to be posting that shit anyway. Like if they were putting those up on light posts and that sort of thing, that's not legal. So you're actually just sort of deputizing yourself to enforce the law. By doing what you're doing and tearing that shit back down again. I'm just saying. I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice, nor am I advising anybody to take any particular type of action. But I am saying that in New York City, there are specific things that must be done with regard to postings, and posting stuff up on like light poles and that sort of thing is not legal. So there you go.
Good to know. Keep that in mind. But no, the way I have noticed that too, where it's like a lot of these different ads, I feel like so much of advertising, especially recently, even with like AI and different, like primarily, it's primarily tech focused sort of companies where they sort of lean into the emotion. Like AI, I don't know if you've seen like I think it's called friend.com, that one that they put around. I think there's some in New York. They started putting some up in Chicago.
Was that like the little pendant?
I think so, yeah. I haven't actually looked too much into exactly what it is. It's just these ads, like whenever people put up these ads, they obviously get very frustrated by seeing like this like very odd, very like AI sort of ad around. But like in particular with like the eugenics, it's like they want people to be like, oh yeah, you will have the genius child. Like we can guarantee we will rearrange like everything. And, you know, I think when we talked in the eugenics episode, it's like, it probably makes sense to want to get rid of like, you know, illnesses, diseases that might like kill a baby. But like how, like there is that, like, again, that moral conversation of like, what is too far? Should we be making superhumans with like 1 million IQ? I don't think
also,
so. Like,
that's the thing
so
too,
weird.
is like, not only should we not be doing that, that's also not what's going to happen.
No,
you know,
because of course,
I think the letter writer makes a really good point. Yeah, obviously you've got the genetics to do this. You know, obviously your future child is an Ubermensch. Like we just need to figure out a way to make sure that we optimize for all the correct whatever.
Yeah,
it's very flattering in a way that is certainly not truthful.
Right.
I'm also interested in sort of the point of, I guess, the anger that I think people experience about seeing this stuff, because, you know, anger is one of those emotions that is very easy to manipulate, right? And that's the whole, I think the reason that the Trump era has felt so uniquely mind and soul deadening is that it exclusively operates on stoking people's anger
all the time. Yeah.
Because, and that's not just the case also for Trump supporters, it's also for Trump opponents, right?
Absolutely.
Because he knows, like, he's these people are very good, Trump especially, very good at like trolling people, getting a strong negative reaction out of them. But the problem with that anger is that at the end of the day, unless you can channel it into something, it's not a useful emotion. But also, I think that when you build up a certain amount of anger to a certain point, eventually that rage wants to find a way out.
Yeah.
And I think that these companies that are sort of pitching us this technologically optimized vision of the future through AI, through eugenics, through whatever, I think that they are all building tremendous resistance that has not yet seen its full expression yet.
I totally agree. I don't remember where I read it, but I read this thing talking about, specifically, I believe it was the Trump strategy of angering every opponent. Like I think the best example is look at any official White House social media account, and they will intentionally post things to inflame people. And, you know, that's, they do that because obviously it's advertising. It gets media attention. It in a lot of cases, it influences all discourse online and even in the media. So it's like, it gets people talking, it gets people paying attention. But what I read, I think they outlined it very perfectly. It's like, it does get people talking, it gets people to pay attention, but you're actively creating a class of people rooting for your demise and failure. Without that rage baiting, you will not have that same sort of opposition. You will not have that group of people that will do anything they can to ensure you're a failure. So I think, I think we're going to sort of see, and I think we already sort of did see that sort of like politics via rage bait sort of turn on Trump. I mean, like every single, I'm talking broadly about Trump right now, but just, you can broadly talk about this with any other sort of advertising strategy, where it's like with Trump, I mean, he came in, he was, fairly popular. He was like slightly above water with, he became president. And then like now in just under a year of him being office, he is already less popular than he was in his entire first term, which is astounding. And it's because of its politics and advertising via rage bait. And it just is not going to work out long term. It's great if you're the opposition, if you're not the ones in power, but people are sick of, the most powerful pedophile in the world rage baiting everyone, and everyone is tired of financial tech. It's so exhausting.
It's exhausting. I'm so tired.
It's so exhausting. Genuinely, I'm so tired. That's like the finance tech. They are continuously accumulating more and more and more and more money while they are still doing a lot of these things, still acting this way. And it's, I don't know, they're going to be in for a rude awakening when there is just like way too many people that want them to fail.
And I think it's sort of, it's a connected but slightly different thing, but I guess it also ties into the kind of money that is giving us sperm racing. Like the sort of, I don't know, AI boom, large language models, all of that. I see with some frequency this statement that I just don't think is backed by reality, where somebody will be like, Well, the average person is just kind of whatever about AI. In fact, a lot of them think it's fun and cool, and they love it, actually.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not convinced that's true either. Not saying that there aren't, doofy like uncles making shit with Mid-Journey on the reg. Like, of
There's
course,
certainly those people. I've seen them in public where I heard someone talking to his girlfriend or spouse saying, "I'm going to chat GPT this real quick."
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
out in public, I've heard that, and it's like, well, they are out there for sure. But
I certainly don't think that, from what I've seen, it constitutes the majority, because you need people to have enthusiastic buy-in, and it seems to me personally, and I could be wrong about this. I should do some research. The problem is that the research doesn't really exist yet, because most of the research about adoption of this kind of thing is led by the industry, right?
Right.
But it seems to me there's a certain type of person who is very inclined to get bought into this kind of thing, and then for everybody else, it's like, nah.
Yeah. Especially because it's like, again, it's a lot of the big boosters of this tech, of this specifically AI in this context, are being like, where you're going to lose, all artists are going to be put out of work. We're going to it's taking over. It's inevitable, and it's coming whether you like it or not. And it's like, that's not going to convince people to want to use it. That's just not.
There's a certain type of person who I think thinks of themselves as being future looking, and is desperately afraid of missing the train of whatever the future is, and is simultaneously very like gullible and suggestible.
Oh yeah.
And I think that in a lot of cases they are bought into this stuff not so much because of what it can do for them or what it can offer them, but because they have convinced themselves that failing to do so is going to prevent them from being part of there's something Calvinist about it, right? It's like they want to be part of the elect. They want to be the ones moving forward during the AI salvation,
100%. There is absolutely a big aspect of that. I mean, just the way that so many of these people want to, getting in on the ground level, 100%. Just one final thing also I wanted to say about specifically the eugenics ads.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the idea that, I don't know, guaranteeing, specifically the focus on IQ, and we'll talk more about, I think, IQ in the follow-up mailbag episode about the episode that we did about that. But it's like IQ is not just being born. Your level of intelligence is not decided and final the day you are born. It is a thing that further education practice, just your environment, your entire life is a factor on that, a lot more long term than being born. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to guarantee high IQ super children. I have not seen that necessarily play out, especially because I think a lot of these eugenics babies, if they exist from these different companies, are fairly young still. Probably no more than a year old. So I guess I'm interested to see what the fuck the result of these odd companies are, because people will be using these whether we like it or not, sadly.
Well, in 2004, there was a motion picture released called Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2.
I forgot about that.
I don't know if you're familiar with this one.
I am actually, yeah. Classic film. It's a wonderful film. Highly recommend it.
Well, that gets us to about an hour. I am again.
Don't
this
sleep.
Is not. I'm tired. I'm so tired. But we want to put something out there, get something out there for you, dear babies. And again, we'll be back to full strength very, very well. June's already at full strength. I'm not. I will be back to full strength probably within a couple weeks. And again, you can expect us to be on our exciting, shiny, new bi-weekly production schedule in the new year. Lots of great stuff coming up, and we're very excited to share it with you.
Yippee! Yay! Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for listening. We love you all.
Yeah, we'll see you in the new year. Okay, bye.
Bye.